Good morning, Triton community. This is Jeremy Riffle, Superintendent of Triton School Corporation, with Mason McIntyre, who's the Athletic Director of Triton School Corporation. And we're just here to give you an update on the gym floor. I know there's been a lot of conversation what's been going on with the gym floor. And we're going to call this our Triton Trojan Spotlight. A lot of things coming up with building projects. The gym floor, obviously, that's going on. A new gym, HVAC system, along with the new roof at the high school. So just a good way to show you our heart through leadership and let you know that we're trying to make the best decision possible for our community. So Mason, as we discuss this, obviously, 4 weeks ago today, we came in, we were getting ready to have professional development with our teachers, and we got a call earlier in the morning from Bruce Gephardt, who says, hey, there's water on the gym floor. So since then, it's been quite a ride. We've learned a lot about gym floors and what we need to do next. So talk to us a little bit about what's transpired in those last 4 weeks, and then possibly give us a little bit of history of what this floor has meant to us.
Sure. Well, like you said, I just want to first say thanks to Bruce Gephardt and his staff for getting the water off the floor. They had a big task trying to get all that water removed, but they were able to do that within a few hours. But obviously, as you walk through the gym floor, you can tell that there was a lot of cupping with the boards because of the moisture that it got. So it didn't take long for that water to take hold. Water and wood, they're just not a good combination. So we went through the process with the insurance and worked through all that stuff. Learned, like you said, more about gym floors in the last 4 weeks than we ever cared to in our life. Absolutely. But we know what's going on, and so we're beginning the process today. As you can probably hear in the background, the guys are starting the demolition now.
They are. Cedar Creek Flooring is here. Exciting. We've obviously done a lot of talking about it the last few weeks, but they are here starting to rip out the floor. A couple other things I want to give out. Mrs. Ezekiel's 6th period physics class. We happened to be in there the other day, short on subs, and I think it was an incident where we took the time to say, sorry, Mrs. Ezekiel, but we took the time to talk a little bit about life and talk about some of the decisions that we have. And they really gave us a lot of insight. Sometimes you're too close to a situation to really know what people are asking. In fact, a young lady at the back of the class asked if we were going to put in a new pool in this space. And so it really gave us some information of what information do we need to get out there to our community, and how do we need to keep them up to date on a lot of the things that are happening. So I want to thank them. I want to thank our coaches. Absolutely. I want to thank our PE instructors who have totally had to be creative with the space that they're using. And so we're hoping to, for their sake, to get this done in a timely manner. Also, I think of our seniors who had to play their home games and just how classy they have been, how they've showed Trojan pride with having a really good attitude with playing their home games, whether that be at Triton Elementary School or Plymouth High School. So just a lot of people showing a lot of pride, the Trojan way, thinking of others over self. It's been a good thing.
Absolutely. So as we've worked through this process, we've thought a little bit about the history, and so I was able to look back over the last few days on just the things that have happened here in this gymnasium over the last 48 years. Through that time, I went through and I counted 698 boys varsity basketball games. That included sectionals, regionals, and regular season games. It included about 32 games that Plymouth High School played here. Wow. Back in the early 70s when they were building their new high school gym. We've hosted 31 sectionals and 17 regionals here on this floor. And through that time, we've had 4 guys who have gone on to play in the NBA. One of those was a local Triton guy, Rich Rhodes, who had a real short stint with the Chicago Bulls back in the early 70s. Then we had Scott Skiles from Plymouth High School, who had a fantastic NBA career. And Rick Fox, a lot of people don't realize, went to Warsaw High School and played here in the Trojan Trench. And then most recently, Demetrius Jackson, who played for Mishawaka Marion, spent some time playing here a couple games. We also had one Mr. Basketball, Jeff Gross from Warsaw High School in 1985, who played here. And then just countless other, local stars or have played through here, and so it's just a lot of history on the boys' side. A lot of history on the girls' side as well. 393 total varsity games for the girls. That's included sectional, regional, and semi-state games. In fact, back in the 2000-2001 seasons when we won the state championship, those girls got to play semi-state here, which was an awesome thing. Had two Miss Basketballs who have played here. One was Kim Barrier from Jimtown, and the other was Patricia Babcock from Culver Academy. So I just spent a lot of time just thinking about the number of things that happened on this floor, and just the memories that people have had, and it's just outstanding to see that. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That is awesome. A lot of history, and obviously through a really, really tough situation on January 8th, we're trying to say, let's make lemonade out of lemons, right. And trying to make the best of a situation. But as you can see from the picture that's currently behind us, just a lot of cupping that took place. The floor, 48 years. Sorry, 48 years. Old, so one standing away from probably needing to be refinished anyways, and so it's an unfortunate incident, but in the end I think it's going to be a great thing for our corporation, and moving forward trying to say let's look at the positives that are coming out of this, and obviously our attitude has been frustrated for some of our kids, but in the end it's going to be a really, really good thing.
Sure.
So
yep. And a couple of things to think about too as you look at the pictures here that we've had to take into consideration. That safety. Number one, it would be unsafe for anyone to participate on this floor, PE classes or let alone games. So that's kind of the biggest thing that we take into account is safety. And so there's a lot of measures that are going to be taking place over the next 4 weeks, 6 weeks here as we install this new floor for safety.
Absolutely, and proactively we've told our students to not go through door 9. We're actually going to block that off. There's going to be a dumpster out there with a lot of the wood that's being taken out right now, so we want to make sure that we keep them as far away from the construction zone as possible. We've moved our buses around, try to do that proactively. Right. And so those things are taking shape, and I want to thank our community for their adjustment and just being super cool with that as we communicate that to them.
Yep.
So you can see the cupping on this picture of just some of the spaces on the floor and just the moisture that's in the floor, which is in the end why we were not able to restore it, sand it down. So this is some good pictures taken from our art department, who gives us a good idea of what that looks like. So.
And Jeremy, while we're talking about this, we've had a lot of people that have been asking about purchasing pieces of the floor, and that's something that we're still working, trying to figure out how that might work, but that's something that we hope we're able to do because, like we said, there is a lot of history and a lot of memories for a lot of people, and so we want to try to preserve that as best we can for people. And so as we know more about that, just check out the Triton Trojan Facebook page, and we will update you on that as we know more.
Yeah, I so appreciate your communication on that. A lot of people are reaching out. We've had a lot of people behind the scenes working really hard to make this thing happen, and I appreciate your communication. And I would encourage our community, if they have questions, to come see us and just ask the question, and just we'll be more than happy to be as open and honest as possible with you when it comes to this huge expense in our corporation.
Yep.
So an exciting time. So as we shift focus to what was and what is going to be, I'm excited to unveil the new court that we're going to be putting in here in about 6 weeks, hopefully by spring break.
Yep.
We're not going to get ahead of ourselves. We're cautiously optimistic that in 6 weeks we'll have a brand new floor in here that will serve our community, serve our scholar athletes for years to come. And so I'm excited to share show this to our community. Obviously, a couple more pictures here that of the gym floor currently that's actually being ripped out. But this right here, Mason, it's taken a lot of time and effort to say what is going to solidify, I guess, our traditions, but also kind of give a new age twist to what we stand for, who we are. And one of the things we put on here is the Trojan Trench.
Yeah.
So
and that's a name that we gave the gym probably about 7 or 8 years ago, maybe 9 or 10 now. I don't know, to be honest with you. It's kind of all starting to run together. But it was a name that we gave to just recognize, the fact that we're down in a trench.
Yeah.
We're sitting down here in a hole.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of why that was established, and so we felt like it would be a neat thing to add to the court. Also, you can see that we have our state championships represented on the floor there. We're very proud of those 3 state championships that we've earned over the years. And then, just has our 2 logos there in the center, too, which I think is just a good centerpiece, showing that Trojan head and that double stack T.
Something we've talked a lot about here lately is there for a while we had a lot of different logos, a lot of different Trojans, and who are we? And when you talk about the world of branding, we're really trying to say this is who we are. So when you see the double stack T or you see the Trojan head, we say that's Triton, and it just solidifies in people's minds some of the great things that are happening here. I'm so excited as we continue to serve you. Just know that our heart is to try to do what's best for our community, our students, and our teachers have been amazing, and they provide an amazing learning environment every day. As we continue to show Trojan pride, so personal responsibility, respect, integrity, determination, enthusiasm, and what I like about that is we're going to do it the Trojan way, which is others over self. So as we continue to try to do that, we ask that you partner with us as we continue to try to build something great together.